All right, Martha, the White House Press Secretary Robert Gibbs making the rounds on Sunday, saying Republicans could win control of the House in November. Here he was on Meet the Press.
I think there are no doubt that there are a lot of seats that will be up, a lot of contested seats. I think people are going to have a choice to make in the fall, but I think there's no doubt there are enough seats in play that could cause Republicans to gain control. There's no doubt about that.
Fair political observation, or is it a battle cry? Eric Cantor is the Republican from the state of Virginia, also the House Republican whip. And good morning to you.
Bill, good to be here.
Is Robert Gibbs onto something there? Was he right or was he wrong?
You know, listen, I'm optimistic, Bill, but I think the larger point here is you got to ask sort of why Robert Gibbs is saying that. And I think it's pretty clear. You know, the White House and the majority in Congress are pushing an agenda that's outside the mainstream. We Republicans feel very strongly that our much more incremental approach to try and regenerate this economy is what America needs. And that's really what's behind, I think, Robert Gibbs's prognostication.
Explain the why again? He goes out and says that publicly because...
Well, I think that the reason why he is now concerned that we're going to take the majority back is because their agenda just does not reflect what mainstream Americans want to see out of Washington or want to see the direction of the country. That's what's behind Robert Gibbs's prognostication here. So I think there is some legitimacy to that. I'm optimistic that we're going to take back the majority. But it goes back to the solutions that Republicans have offered are that which reflect the majority of Americans, and it is about jobs, the economy, stopping the spending, and getting this country back on track.
All to be determined in November, and we have laid that out repeatedly with Republicans and Democrats in this program for some time. What Gibbs is saying is that he's going to go argue to the American people and say, look how they governed before. Do you want that again? Roll this now from Gibbs on Sunday.
We have the responsibility for fixing the mess, right? But as the president said, don't drive the car into the ditch, right? Don't drive the car into the ditch and then now want the keys back, because we know how you drive, right? We understand what got us there, okay? The president has had to make a lot of tough decisions. The car's out of the ditch. The car's back on the road. The question is, are you going to give the keys back to the Republicans and let them drive it back into the ditch again?
All right, two things on that. First, your defense is what?
Well, it is not about, you know, what went on in the last decade or prior, because there's enough blame to go around everywhere. I think where most Americans are right now, they want to see the spending stopped. They want to see the focus on small business, and they want to see the economy produce jobs again. That's what this election's about. This administration has failed on that front. Last week they went on a new sort of PR tour trying to say that they were pro-business and pro-small business, but you've got the NFIB and others coming out and saying, you know what, we're just not doing the right things here.
NFBI is?
National Federation of Independent Businesses, the
which takes
voice
you to the
for small
second
business.
point. And what he's saying is that the car is going to go off the road again. Fundamentally, in this economy today, is the car back on track?
No.
Are we back on the road?
No.
Are we headed in the right direction?
No, we're not. You have got small business that is absolutely paralyzed right now. They don't have access to credit. The policies being promoted by this administration and the Pelosi majority in Congress are just unrecognizable to most small business people in America. And that's why we say, look, Republicans have proffered much more direct approaches, but much more incremental to trying to get the economy back. Why should we even be saying that taxes are going to go up this year? This administration is basically going to raise taxes on small business.
There's a couple more things we can get to, and we're running out of time here. But the independents are polling very low for President Obama right now. There's one poll out there that has his numbers in the 30s, about 36, 37% for independents who give him an approval rating today. But what Robert Gibbs is suggesting, I don't know what it is, and you cast light on it down there in Washington, D.C. Is he trying to light the fire into the Democrats? Is he trying to motivate them? Or is he trying to lower expectations given the outcome in November that no one can say today?
Listen, I can't look into sort of the intent of Robert Gibbs. All I can tell you is this. The reason why we find ourselves with independents so soured on this administration is the fact that they don't understand how we keep spending money we don't have in Washington. They don't understand with all that has gone on, the debt incurred while there's no small business startups, and they want to see a change. And they want to see elected a majority in Congress that will serve as a check and balance against this unfettered agenda.
4.5 months away. Eric Cantor, thank you for your time.
Bill, thank you.
Good to see you here.